Spider here in the studio. I hope you all are doing well, and I'm coming to you with a brand new project. If you haven't already, please follow the link over to YouTube to watch the little Maddie and Dada cartoon about Ombre Matisse. Okay, it's just a cute little introduction to him and his life. Okay, so after that, we are gonna talk collage again. You should all know what collage means now, so shout it out if you do know what it means. I'll give you 5, 2, 1. All right, collage is when you make a picture by cutting up other pieces of paper and gluing them to a new, larger paper. So we are gonna make a picture like that. Now, Matisse called these cutouts. He did not call them collage, but in his life, he called them cutouts. And he created some of these cutouts that you're seeing right now very late in his career. He could no longer paint the way he wanted to. So he would have his assistants in the studio paint big pieces of paper with bright colors. And then he would take his scissors, and he called it drawing with scissors, and make these beautiful cutouts. And he did not actually glue them down. He would pin them to paper and then move them constantly to get his composition correct. So as you see some of these pictures go by, think what they remind you of. Is there anything that it looks like, or it looks like it could be? Think about it. All right, so let's get to the demonstration, and I'll explain what organic shapes are versus geometric shapes, and I'll teach you how to make organic shapes just like Matisse did. All right, for today's project, you are gonna need some colored paper. If you don't have any colored paper, you can always take a sheet of white paper and cover it with marker or paint and let it dry before we begin. You're gonna need white paper. You're going to need a glue stick, a pencil, and a pair of scissors. So hopefully you've already seen the Matisse cartoon, and you've seen some of the Matisse images that I posted in Dojo. So first off, we're gonna talk about what an organic shape looks like. Now, an organic shape doesn't have any rules on how to draw it, unlike geometric shapes that always have rules, like a triangle has 3 sides, or a square has 4 equal sides. So there's none of those rules. So, for example, triangle, that's a geometric shape. Rectangle, if I could draw a straight line, geometric shape. Okay, those have rules. Organic shapes, on the other hand, do not have rules. So the easiest way to draw one is to kind of take a wavy line out for a walk. Now I want you guys to do this in pencil, but I'm gonna do it in marker so it shows up really well for you in the video. So I'm gonna take this wavy, crazy line, and I'm gonna take it out for a walk. And there I have one example of an organic shape. Okay. Now it doesn't always have to be wavy lines. You can think of organic shapes as inspired by nature. So it might be the shape of a leaf. It could also have zigzag lines and wavy lines together. Now I want you to keep in mind, the bigger you draw your shapes, I'll put my hand right here, it's pretty big, the easier they are to cut out later. You know, think of Matisse's leaf shapes. They kind of look like seaweed. It's that wavy line, out for a walk. So I want you to draw at least 5 organic shapes before you start cutting. Draw them nice and big. And it's very easy, no rules. Okay, now once you have a bunch of these, I want you to cut them out. Once you have the shapes that you drew cut out, I want you to try and cut some without drawing first. Whenever Matisse cut his shapes, he just did it with scissors. He did not draw it out first. So try that for a couple of shapes. Just draw with your scissors. You can see it's probably easier than having to refollow over your pencil lines. So think rounded edges, no rules that tell you how to draw these shapes. So I want you to try that 4 times, and these can be a little bit smaller. I've got my hand there to show you how big that one is. Okay. So try it 3 more times now. All right, so now you should have a bunch of shapes cut out. I'm gonna take those, we're gonna put them aside for a second so we can put down our white paper. So what you want to do is start placing your shapes on your page. Don't glue them yet. But you wanna overlap them, see how they would work as an image. Matisse would always lay out his shapes first before gluing anything down to work out his composition. Now I can see I have a lot of shapes for the size paper I have, so if you want to work bigger on this one, I am completely okay with that. This is a 9x12 piece of paper, so if you want to work bigger, that is a-okay. All right, so I kind of have a composition that I like. I've got some shapes overlapping others. So what I kind of need to figure out are what are the lowest. I'm gonna remove this. All right, so I'm gonna start to glue. When I glue, I want to glue on the side that I drew on, so I don't see any of this ugly drawing and marker in my final product. So make sure you put the glue on the side with the pencil marks or marker marks, in my case. All right, so now I'm gonna flip it over and put it approximately in the same spot. Okay, next up was this one. You don't need a ton of glue when you're using a glue stick. Just go around the outside and like once down the middle. Now this one kind of wove in and out of this other one. So again, I'm putting the glue on the side that I drew on, so I don't see my marks. Because you know, even Ms. Minor, who is a very capable cutter, did not cut off everything. All right, so I'm not gonna press that one down all the way yet because it's kind of weave over and under this one. So also don't pump your glue stick up a bunch, just do it a little. All right. Okay, then I'm gonna slide that under, and this over. You know, and if it's not exactly like you had it before, don't worry. All right, smooth it out. All right, next up was this weird looking piece. So the ones that I just cut without drawing, it doesn't matter what side you put the glue on, as long as it's the way you want it in your composition. So double check before you glue it down. Okay, I'm gonna put that one there. And finally, I want this piece on there. I'm not gonna worry if it was going off the page. Fun fact about Matisse's work, he actually pinned all his paper in place. He never actually glued it down in most cases. So then when it's hung up at the museum, people have to like pin it in place again. And when he would have it in his house, he would move the pieces of paper constantly, trying to figure out the ideal composition. All right. So there is my cutout. I feel like adding like a small green piece here. You know, you can always look at your scraps because like I have some interesting small pieces that I feel like adding on top. All right, boys and girls, there it is. There's my finished collage inspired by Henri Matisse's work. All of these great organic shapes that, remember, don't have any rules that tell you how to draw them. All right, so when you are done with your collage, make sure you take a picture of it and message me in Dojo. Seriously, I love to see your work. I'm not lying there. I love to see it. It brightens my day. Have fun with this project, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.